How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Wolf, and welcome to my top 3 melee builds for Blight League. Now, so far, if I've done this in order correctly, we've done my standard top 3 builds, top 3 totem builds that I believe are going to work very exceptionally in this league, and then now we are on to top 3 melee builds. I believe I'm going to do one for spells as well. But to start us off and to kind of explain a couple of things, I am doing this before the patch notes. Now I know that's not a very wise idea because one of the builds I have in this video may end up actually being nerfed, which kind of sucks. However, I don't, due to real life situations, I won't have internet during league start, and of course that makes it very difficult to upload videos when you don't have internet. So as a result, you're gonna have to take some of these with a grain of salt and maybe look at them and change a couple things when the league does launch, because some stuff may get nerfed, some stuff may get changed, etc, etc. Because all 3 of the builds today are berserkers. However, you can change them to be, Templar or Slayer or whatever the fuck you really want it to be. You can mix and match very easily and very effectively. Now, I have 2 that are kind of off the wall, and then one that is pretty self-explanatory. It's a fucking Cycloner. Now, it is probably paged to get nerfed, but if it doesn't, I feel like it's still very effective and very good. You can get a lot of AoE on it and clear a lot of shit very easily. So, with that being said, let's get into the more off-the-wall type stuff. Now, this was the character I was originally going to play for hardcore, which I did, and it died to a disconnect, which made me very sad. But as I was playing it, I had a very good time, and it showed a lot of promise. That is a Sword, Shield, Reeve Berserker. Now, I know the concept sounds a little bit out there, but I wanted to play a tankier character, and I didn't have much reason to for the longest time. And I decided, what if I play hardcore? That'll let me play a tanky character. And yeah, yeah, it did. The character wasn't dying. The character had 0 struggle whatsoever, and it died to a fucking disconnect, which sucked very heavily because it also happened on stream. But with that being said, it's pretty simple in all reality. You got your physical damage sword, you've got a life-based shield, and then just as much armor and base stats as humanly possible with spiked gloves, steel ring, leather belt, lion's roar, and then, your excess immunity flasks. Now, of course, you're going to be using Reeve in your main hand, and you want very good attack speed to do so, which is where Berserker is going to come in, allowing you to get a ton of attack speed and attack damage and all that sort of stuff, move speed, clear speed, etc, etc. Now, the biggest thing about playing Berserker is you want to go Pain Reaver, because this is where you're going to get all of your mana leech on hit, and without this I found it was kind of awkward to level at the start. But once you pick up Pain Reaver, your leveling is just going to fly. If you're looking for a hardcore or tankier character, this will suit that need. Now, this is kind of like weirdly crafted because it has Rite of Ruin and Unwavering Stance, which, we can change out very quickly and just, fix that problem. But to go into the skill tree, we start with the standard Marauder start of going life, and then, through the top bit of life. And then we go up to Heart of the Warrior, Born to Fight, and we cut in here for Strong Arm to get that extra bit of one-handed damage. A lot of your damage scaling is going to be coming out of shield nodes. Your nodes like Solidity and Aggressive Bastion. These sorts of nodes that give you physical attack damage while, holding a shield in the other hand, which surprisingly lets you get a ton of damage. It's very good for War Chief characters, for Totem War Chief characters, or any sort of one-handed and shield builds. There's not a lot of those, which makes me sad because I like the concept of, sword and board, right? But even in like Diablo 3 and all that sort of stuff, there's not many builds or reasons to play a sword and board character. So I was like, fuck it, let's make my own. So, to cover things a little bit more, your start is to rush through here and get to Res Tech as fast as possible, because you don't want to be missing with Reeve. When you start out and you don't have Berserk, your attack speed is going to be kind of slow, so you really don't want to be missing your swings. Your AoE is also going to be kind of intriguing until you get Vol Reeve. You want to try and corrupt one as soon as possible. Then we get the sword nodes, which gives us extra bleed DPS. It's not really anything noticeable, but it's there for helping with leveling. And then you get good range with swords from Blade Master as well. And then you want to get the entire shield cluster down here for a couple of reasons. Not only are we getting as much shield damage as we can, this also gives us 5% chance to gain an endurance charge on kill while holding a shield. This means we don't have to use Warbringer, we don't have to use Enduring Cry if we don't want to. This was very good for Legion League because Rallying Cry would do wonders for you on Legion Monoliths, because you would just pop it and you would get like 100 stacks for everything around you and just kill everything, right? It was great. You can still probably do that, even though Legion Monoliths aren't every map, so it might not be as good. But yeah, so we're going to be aiming for a lot of those. Come down here, get Impale. Impale is going to be where a lot of the single target damage comes from. You can't factor in Impale, by the way, on Path of Building. All 3 builds use Impale in there somewhere. I have a 100% chance to Impale, and you can't really do the math for it on Path of Building. It doesn't really have it. I saw it once, but other than that, not really. Get the Bloodless Cluster for life here, Soul of Steel for armor and increased armor, and max resists. We come down, we get Brinkmanship for AoE and weapon range, as well as AoE if you've stunned an enemy recently. Might as well, right? And then we come down for Rampart to make us that much tankier, because we will have Fortify. And then we come down for Swift Skewering to get Impale. We have 100% Impale, if I remember correctly on this. Come over here, get Life Leech. Come over here and get Retaliation for more damage. This side is just all defenses and stuff, so you don't need that side at all. Over here for Golem's Blood and a Jewel, go for a Abyss Jewel with Flat Fizz or something along the lines of this God Roll if you want something to put in there. Now, Crimson Dance is kind of an odd node. I'm not going to be using this on this build. I thought I was looking at my Bleed character, which is the next one coming up. I'll cover that when we get there. My bad. I kind of zoned out for a second. Battle Cry, because instant war cries. It's that simple, really. There is merit to going for Words of Glory to get instant war cries that don't cost mana. So if you want to take the Warbringer route, that is one to get there as well. And then we come up to get Constitution for all this life, and Berserking for all the attack speed, and Defiance for damage while holding a shield. If you want extra damage, you can take some out of life, because the character is the big chungus. It is very, very tanky. You can take some points out of life to go for more damage here through attack damage with shields, or look for one-handed damage or attack speed or that sort of stuff. You can pick up the other nodes here as well to get you even more damage. This is a character I had a lot of fun with, and I hope you guys do as well. If you want something very tanky that can just like stand in lines on Blight, you're gonna enjoy this, trust me. There's also a little bit of Reeve attack cancel tech because of all the animation canceling and stuff, so look for that on the channel as well if you want to up your damage very, very slightly while leveling. You could also look to play this as, I think it's Gladiator, one of the Slayer, Duelist Ascendancies. I need to play Duelist at some point. I haven't yet, but I really should. You can play it as Duelist and probably find just as much success because you need like 2 nodes to start at Duelist. So yeah, if you enjoy that playstyle, feel free. And let's move on to Bleed Storm Zerker. This is a character I fucking love and I really want to finish, but it's really hard to do when, you know, Disfavor costs like however much it was. It was, I don't remember, it was like 9x or some shit like that. It was something fucking stupid. So this character is very simple. This is the character that I was actually playing. It has a rather average weapon. This was one of the weapons I had in my stash. If I were to switch this to Aziri's Disfavor, my damage goes up quite a bit. Now keep in mind, this might look like absolute trash, potentially. That bleed is ticking every second. That is just dot damage. Which is why it's pretty insane. We're already doing good damage with just Blade Storm, but we are doing almost 500k per second bleeds. Yeah, pretty good. Combine that with potentially Crimson Dance for bosses to get extra bleed damage that stacks, you know, rather rapidly, right? And you can get some very, very effective damage, as well as treading out maybe a couple things here, removing deadly ailments to go for more just flat total DPS. You can get a lot of mileage that way. You can use Maim, Rage, that sort of stuff. And of course we're going with Berserker, so we get access to Rite of Ruin to factor in Rage to make Blade Storm do very good raw attack damage. This is just the attack, by the way. The Blade Storms that are underneath you, which you can have 3 of at any time, also do damage, also bleed. you see where we're going, right? So we're doing very effective damage with a bleed-based character. Now, I know this sounds really weird, really off the wall, and that's why I wanted to showcase it. Because I've been working on this character for a little while, and it is a lot of fun. I like the concept of it very, very much. Now, there's also a little bit of micro changes I might make, potentially going into Sand Stance and playing an AoE based version of this build as opposed to playing a Blood Stance. And just trying to get as much AoE as possible is another incarnation I kind of want to try for this character. So all in all, for the skill tree, we start off with the standard Marauder start, go up for Born to Fight and get the two-handed damage, rush down, get Kinetic Impact for a chance to deal double damage. The reason that's so good is you get a chance to deal double damage from Crave the Slaughter here. So you get 1% chance per 4 rage, which is fucking math. You get like 20% or something like that. If you can craft an Elder Axe with a fossil, I don't remember what the fossil is, but you can get attacks have a chance to make your bleeds do 60% more damage. So you have a 500k bleed-ish. Obviously, you have a disfavor on. I'd imagine making a weapon around that power with that mod on it. And so you have a chance to proc 60% more bleed damage. Yeah, I didn't get that far, but I was hoping to, but I didn't get that far, sadly. That is kind of the end-all, be-all of this character, and it looks to be a lot of fun. Of course, we come down, we get more two-handed damage, cut down and across, come up here to get res tech. You can cut through here and then take these nodes out if you're leveling. That's what I did on mine. And then we get cleaving and basically every axe node in the tree to get bleeding inflicts damage faster, bleeding damage, damage with ailments, that sort of stuff. We get Slaughter for onslaught and kill. This is one of my favorite nodes in general. I love using axes in this game. Then you get Juggernaut for life, Red Storm for damage here, Impale. Yeah, we get Impale too, with rather decent attack speed. Keep in mind we're using a two-handed axe, so you can't expect the fastest of attack speed. You get Impale there, range with axes and attack speed, life. You can probably cut that life node if you want. The life's pretty okay. Melee skills have increased AoE, weapon range. Come down here for AoE if you've killed recently, damage with ailments while using a two-handed weapon, and then Wrecking Ball giving you more damage with ailments while using a two-handed weapon. And cutting over, we get Impale chance right up here. We should have about 100% Impale with Dread Banner. Golem's Blood for life. You can probably cut this here if you really want to. Go over here for Destroyer and a lot of extra damage. Life, Battle Cry, and Berserking, as well as Constitution for extra life. Now we're at Crimson Dance. You can mess around with this if it's good. If it's good for you, if it's not good for you, you can, mix and match and kind of decide. I don't remember what gem it is to make my Blade Storm do a shit ton more damage, but you can like change something and this will go up to like 700k. It's been a while since I've fucked with it, but that is definitely an option. This is the best setup for bleed damage possible, as well as it has Fortify in here. Fortify actually gives you more damage with bleeds, in case you didn't know that. I didn't. I definitely didn't. But that means we can also be very tanky from using Blade Storm over and over and over again to, keep Fortify up, right? You can get a lot of mileage out of that. Then we have Impale for single target, combined with the Blade Storms, which will stack Impale very quickly and stack that damage number up stupidly high. So it has single target, it has pretty decent AoE, and it's a bleed character that actually works. I'm looking forward to making a Puncture Ranger as well in the next league. That's gonna be an intriguing one. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'll keep you posted. And that is my Blade Storm Berserker. That will be in the description if you want to take a look at that. I highly recommend it because it's a lot of fun. And lastly, we are going to talk about a Cyclone Berserker. This is as bog standard as humanly possible. There's a chance it gets nerfed because obviously it's stupidly effective. I don't think mine is the best incarnation on the planet. There's obviously going to be more powerful ones, but you can get stupidly high DPS with just a good axe. Yeah, I have a good axe, 2 steel rings, melee damage with added fizz, and a necklace with added fizz. And this is pure fizz with the Lion's Roar, I think. Yeah, pretty sure. You can get some insane damage, and I don't even think this has Impale in it. So you put in 100% Impale, plus you use Dread Banner, well, like 75% impale plus dread banner, and you can get some very effective damage and very effective AoE. You switch to sand stance, you take all the AoE nodes. You can even use like maces or swords if you want to. There's like range with swords. You can get range down here, I believe. Yeah, you can get range there. There's other sword nodes you can pick up range, and you can just cover the entire fucking screen. I've seen Cyclone builds that are absolutely wild. I don't think mine's necessarily the best, but the whole archetype of Cyclone, if it doesn't get nerfed into the ground or nerfed too heavily, it's still going to be really effective, because you can get Cyclones that are the size of Blood Aqueducts when I was playing my Cycloner. It was literally, I could walk down all of Blood Aqueducts and cover the whole fucking thing as I ran. On top of that, you had Berserk, which gave you more AoE, and things got pretty out of hand pretty quickly. They were a lot of fun to play, and very simple. The only downside to Cyclone is it's so effective, it's mind-numbing. I'll be entirely honest with you. It's like playing Winter Orb or Blade Vortex back, pre-nerf. They're so fucking good, they are mind-numbingly boring. That was the problem that I had with it most of the time. But either way, if you're looking for a Cyclone build, allow me to showcase mine to you. So, start off, we get the life here, Warrior's Blood, cut up for Born to Fight, and then of course Res Tech, pretty bog standard for melee builds. Come up here, get some AoE and some life, as well as Retribution for attack speed and percent damage. Then come down and get your Axe Cluster. If you're leveling, you want to go up, get Res Tech, come down, get Slaughter, and only use axes from here on out. This makes it so your Onslaught is given to you on kill, which is pretty great. 10% chance. That's not weapon restricted, by the way. So if you only get Slaughter for the Onslaught on kill, if you find a really good sword or something, you can use that while leveling and maintain the Onslaught on kill. Now through the rest of the tree, we go down from here. We go down, we get Battlecry because we're using Warbringer to give us a basically instant flask. 25% of your health pool is really fucking good. Combine that with Words of Glory. This allows you to keep your mana up pretty much 24/7. Now there are some very good astral plates, so like Elder Shaper astral plates, that give you -15 to a mana cost, just to abilities in general, which makes your Cyclone fucking free. So then you can, mix and match this as much as you want. You don't need mana leech or anything like that because Cyclone is just free. So that is that's possible, just in case you didn't know that. So look out for that. We come down, we get AoE here. We get Soul of Steel because, we want to be tankier. It's a very good node. Pop over here for range with axes. Pop down here for AoE on kill, as well as flat damage. More flat damage here. Come up over here and come down for life. And weapon range for Master of the Arena. Damage and attack speed. Come down Endurance Charge. Come down life. Frenzy Charge. And then we get the 1 life and mana leech to give us enough mana leech to never run out of mana. Obviously, you also have the option of using Words of Glory with Warbringer to refill your mana and to keep healing you. This also is going to give you permanent endurance charges to make you the very tanky man. And then, of course, we have Rage from Crave of Slaughter, Rite of Ruin, Aspect of Carnage for a shit ton of damage. And obviously, we have Life and Berserking up here for the extra attack speed. In regards to skills, that's what the setup looks like. It's pretty simple. Yeah, it's pretty simple, really. I believe it's converted. I don't really remember. Yeah, it's converted like halfway to fire, if I remember correctly. It was a weird scenario, but the damage works out. It does a shit ton, and yeah, I mean that's Cyclone. You can build it awkwardly and not really need any items at all, and you can get easily 1,000,000 DPS. Yeah, that's pretty much how Cyclone goes. Switch everything to AoE, put in as much AoE as possible, pop your Berserk, and just haul ass down Blood Aqueducts. It's gonna go well. It's very hard to fuck up a Cyclone character, at least currently, because I started building a Cyclone character like my survival guide. I just started playing it, and I didn't pick anything like in a build. I just picked what I thought would work, and it worked. And leveling was so fucking smooth. I just, I started spinning, and I didn't stop until I killed Kataba. It's pretty much how playing Cyclone works. And it is just that effective. Put in, like, an Azirius' Favor or something, if it doesn't cost 9x, and, well, watch your character level to 100 rather easily. that is my top 3 melee builds for Blight League. That is a Sword Shield Reeve Berserker that is a lot of fun if you enjoy playing tankier characters. A Blade Storm Bleed Berserker, the triple B. It's an intriguing one to say, trust me. And that character is a little off the wall and a lot of fun, as well as makes bleed work very, very effectively, a mechanic you may have never tried messing with before. And then, of course, we have the very basic and very effective Cyclone Berserker. Those links will be in the description, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I shall see you in the next one. Take care.